What's up, Buck Doug with D&E in the garage. I'm currently surrounded by a 1978 Honda XL 175 dirt bike. If you did not see the first video on this, I bought this bike about 10 years ago. It never ran. As a kid, I tore it all apart. With this episode, no motor work. Let's try to get a rolling chassis together on this classic bike. I love these things, man. And just like that, we have the first piece put back together. I think it's close to 10 years, close to a decade. I had it sitting. The guy who I bought it from, I'm pretty sure he never had it running either. He acquired it at a garage sale or something, so this thing's been kicked around garages, not running for, I'm gonna guess, the better part of 15-20 years. So it'll be quite a thing when we finally get her up and running, but there we go. That's the very first piece. Put back on. Alright, while we're working back here, let's get the back shocks on. There we go. A little suspension under the old girl. There we go. The back end almost looks like something, enough that we can roll or move this board up. Have a little bit of stability while we work. Let's do the same thing over on this side. The problem is I'm missing the bottom bolt, so you might remember from the last video I have a whole tray full of like random bolts that I don't know where they go. I'm willing to bet the bottom bolt for this side is in that tin over there somewhere. Alright, now we have to figure out how to get the front assembly on and everything. Let's see. So that goes like that, and there should be a bearing. Oh, this goes up here like this, and there's a bearing that goes in between. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, this is the bearing in question, not these, but this right here. Oh yeah, all covered in sawdust, totally gross. So here's what we're gonna do, same thing we did the other day. I'm gonna take this little tin, it's not a tin, it's a piece of an old Mopar oil filter. Put these guys in here. Let me see if we can't clean these guys up. I still do not have brake clean, but I do have carbon choke. That is going to be just fine. Now this isn't a bearing like a friggin' wheel bearing, it's not taking high speed, it's just there to cut down on some of the load, you know, when the handlebars going back and forth. So let's see, how do these look? Did they come clean? I think they did. I also think these bearings are like the one in a Jeep steering box, where every other one is a slightly different size. That's why they're, can you see they're slightly different colors? You see this a lot in steering, like a Saginaw steering box. The purpose is so that it'll never bind. So I'm thinking when I put this together, I need to alternate between the shiny ones and the dull ones. I'm pretty sure that is what we're looking at. So this is the race they slide on. This is the broken crankshaft to my M12 ratchet over here. That's a whole nother video. See how we fix that thing. Alright, these pieces are all pretty much good enough for government work. Let's get them back over the bike, see how they go together. We're gonna pack some grease down in here. I probably couldn't possibly be doing this messier if I tried, but so what? The real fun part is gonna be getting these balls to alternate properly. No! We dropped one. It's clean. It's clean enough anyway. Alright, the balls are all in. We're going to grease this side of the race. Get this guy put on. Right down in there. And then this guy goes right over the top. It seals the whole thing together. I do not have the proper spanner to tighten this down, so I'll do a little bit of this. Oh yeah, perfect. The balls have clearly all gotten into their proper places. It's nice and happy now. Oh, this guy goes on here, and we put the forks in to align everything. All right. Yep, perfect. You do not want to mess around and leave your forks loose. Go over a bump, they'll blow out. Come up and hit you in the face. Oh yeah, these handlebars are nice and bent. I forgot about that. This thing must have taken a nice dinger at some point, but that's alright. I think it's pretty clear this is going to be in typical D&E fashion, kind of a rat rod at best. Alright, now where do we want these things? We're going to be back here. Probably down like that's fine. It's not like we can't move them later. Oh no! I forgot to put... What the hell's wrong with me? I forgot to put this stuff on. Stuff goes right here. I think I can sneak the wrench in there to get it done. I think. If not, I have to take this... Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to take this off again. What an idiot. Yep, the adjustable to the rescue. Actually, this was better because now I have the handlebars to help me tighten it down. Okay. Woohoo! We steering now. Let's get the front wheel on it and probably a kickstand, and then we're really in business. It's a pretty good sign that the shocks are level, that this slides out real easy like that. Oh boy. Okay. The Speedo cable, here's the front brake, and I have some kind of barrel. Let's see if you can see that. Got something wired to this. Clearly it's important. I think it goes in there. Must be. Thank you to me for having the foresight to wire that in. Oh, it's a spacer. It's a spacer, that's all it is. So, wow. There are very few things that 20-year-old Doug did right. But, taking the time to wire that to the tire was a genius move. Also, at some point, the drum brakes are going to need to get refreshed, but we're just getting a rolling chassis together tonight. Hey, here's something interesting. This bike was inspected. So this was on the road in New York State in 1995. Look at this. So this thing was legal to ride in New York State in 1995. Huh. So, at the very least, it ran in 1995, which is only 24 years ago. So, at most, it's been sitting for 24 years. It's kind of cool. I'm happy to see that. All right, man, was this tricky. So the brake mechanism has to be pointing down and around this fork. The spacer goes on this side. It's gonna be a hell of a thing getting it all lined up with the bolt. We're gonna try. All right. Feel good about that. Let's see about getting this thing knocked on through. Look at that. Like a glove. Oh boy. Would you look at that? Just like that, friends. We have the most basic of rolling chassis. Now, I wouldn't mind getting the kickstand hooked up tonight, and maybe that's all. Maybe we'll just get the kickstand hooked up so that we can tuck it back in the corner over there. But yeah, buddy, this is more of a bike than this thing's been in damn near a decade. I know there's no light over here. Screw it. I'm not certain this is the nut and bolt, but it's the one we're gonna use. So let's see. And then we need to hook this up here. That should be a fun little treat. All right, we got the kickstand on, so it is standing on its own. This front brake cable is gonna be a huge pain just dangling, so we're just gonna go ahead and connect it. Putting this on is clearly gonna take all the paint off these handlebars, which is awesome. Screw it. It is what it is. All right, now there's absolutely no movement in these front brakes, but the wheel does spin, so my guess is that the shoes in there are frozen, but that's all right. I really just wanted to be able to get this in here and out of the way. Let's take a look at her from afar. All right, that's all we're gonna do tonight. I'll close it up and then we'll come back out in the morning and we'll tackle this box over here. All right, good morning, friends. We're back at it. We've had our coffee. We're gonna get a little bit more done on this rolling chassis. We're going to put these pegs on, because why not? Again, the whole idea here is just to consolidate how many pieces I have. Oh, you know what? I think the pegs second as a motor mount, but that's all right. For now, we're gonna put them on. Even though this shaft appears to be bent a little bit, it's not going in super clean. We have something to fix that. There it is. All right, there's no good reason to bother with this right now, but I say why not? Let's get the Speedo put on. So if this thing was running in 95, stands to reason that the odometer was working, so I'm willing to bet that 3,800 hours there is pretty close to what it actually has on it. I don't know if the Speedo works because I never got it running, but it's on a cable, you know what I mean? So these cable driven ones, they tend to just work. Let's get this guy in there. This cable's nice and rusty now. I think we're gonna have to take a wire brush to her. Oh yeah, this cable's actually real rusty. I don't want to round the edges off of it, because obviously if it's not a square anymore, it's not going to drive the odometer. Alright, and there we go, perfect. This guy tightened down. Alright, the light bracket definitely does go underneath here and helps space it out, but I don't have the grommets for it, so I'm just going to put this on and this will be wildly loose. At a later date, we'll figure out our solution for that. Alright, since the front brakes are currently all locked up, I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have the back brakes working. I do not even remotely remember how these went together. Let's see. Alright, we've got the brakes at least where we need them. I don't know, I've never messed with these Honda drum brakes. I think there's something that needs to be adjusted back there, but it's on right now. The brake lever's on, and the back brake does actuate. It doesn't really return all that well, but that's something we can work on another day. But we have back brakes, so that's positive. All right, as far as the rolling chassis goes, we're gonna stop here. If I put anything else on, like tank, seat, fenders, it's just gonna be in the way when I go to do the motor later, so that doesn't make much sense. What we're left with is a lot of superficial stuff that I can put in one box, put it in a corner of the garage. I no longer have to move around frames, rear swing arms, forks, tires, all this crap. So this was a total success. We got to get a bolt in that one shock in the back there, but that's cool. The next video will be digging into the motor. I don't know if it's going to be digging into electrical or what, but that's the next thing. So if you got any questions, by all means, leave me a comment down there in the squawk boxes. If you have any advice, I'd love to hear it. I messed with these as a kid, but I'm by no means a Honda dirt bike expert. If any of you are, and you have anything that you think I could use information-wise, I'd love to hear it. All right. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.